Hello and welcome. I'm here. I got two cameras going, which is really a lot of fun. I'm so excited. Today is the Autumn Festival, today and tomorrow, actually. Look at all of these people that are participating, all of these creative souls participating in this magnificent, really big event today and tomorrow. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this. I just first want to make sure to say hello and introduce myself. My name is Grace. I live here in North Dakota. My business is the Comfy Nest with Grace, and I absolutely love to do paper crafting. My creative journey has really evolved. I used to do a lot of home decor. That's why my business was the Comfy Nest. Lots of home decor, I love chalkboards. I love surfaces that you can reuse over and over again. I love to refurbish. Used to paint furniture and sew quilts. And, if you're like me, you like to do a little bit of everything. You dabble in it all. But I have really turned in the last few years into doing a lot of paper crafting, junk journaling, art journaling, simply because I ran out of space. I couldn't make any more wooden signs for my house. And I was selling them locally, but I just still was creating more than I had space for. So I really have turned to doing a lot of paper crafting. So today we're going to work on an altered book, but I want to make sure to welcome you all. If you are here for the event specifically, please let me know that. I know a lot of you crafty chicks. I see Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for blessing the nest. Look at this. It's so fun. StreamYard lets me put these comments up there so that everybody can see what I'm referring to. Thank you for sprinkling, Jerry. Thanks for spreading the blessings, sprinkling the seed. Some people say here at the Comfy Nest. I love blessing the nest. That's a really great way to say it too. Thanks for all of that. It helps us all so much when you guys are willing to hit that button. Hey, MJ, I see you. Welcome. So yes, lots of options and lots of creators, right, Jerry? It's amazing, the schedule today. I'm actually going to get the schedule up on the screen bigger so you can see it. I'll hold it up a little closer for you. 36 creators today and tomorrow, both Friday and Saturday. Can you see that up there? Friday and Saturday. This is the poster that the two hosts created for us to share so that you guys would know what's happening and where and when. So the two hosts are Cheryl from MnC Treasures, and I highlighted them just for my own ease, and from Sweetie's Creations and Decor, Shelia. The two of them partnered together to bring this fantastic event, so we should all give a word of thanks and kudos to them because this is a huge feat. This is a huge feat to get all of these creatives coordinated. Especially when you don't see the behind the scenes stuff, but sometimes someone gets ill or there's a last minute change of schedule, and they are working hard today to bring all of this to you. You can find the whole event in Sweet Crafted Treasures. That's the group where they are showing all of the 36 creatives. So you don't have to hop from page to page. You just go in the group and keep refreshing. Every 45 minutes while the event is happening, a new creative will come live and share with you. Or if you're not in Sweet Crafted Treasures, you can also, it's being streamed in Craft Round the Clock. So those are the two groups where you can find it. I'm just happy you're here with me today. Thanks for being a guest here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. If you are a regular crafty chick who regularly hangs out with me, like I see Janice is here. Hey, Janice, she give me a little emoji, like wave. Hello, girl. Hey, hey. I love that you guys are chatting in the comments. I love it so much that you guys are all chatting in the comments. Keep doing it. This is all about community. It's all about, oh, Sheila, I'm just thrilled to be here. Thank you for you guys. I'm so thrilled to be included. So to everybody who's participating, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Dina, that's my sweet friend, Dina. Hello, Dina. Pat's here. All right, let's get to the book. Okay, I have to admit, I did a little pre-work. I got this little mat here, painting mat. Okay, the book is an orange book, and it's got, most books don't have this. We're going to create a beautiful altered book out of this. This is a library book. Most don't have this shiny, glossy covering on the outside. This one weirdly does, and it's a really bright orange. And I don't want the bright orange to show. We're going to be covering this with some gorgeous rice papers that I sell in my shop. If you love to napkin craft, if you like to use rice papers, you found a good place to hang out with, because I use them a lot in my crafting and creating, in my art journaling especially. I love to use napkins for napkin journaling, I call it, or art journaling, as well as the rice papers. But I also create altered books. So this isn't a library book. It still has the library card in it. Don't worry, I didn't like just swipe it from the library. A couple of times a year, my local library has a big sale and they take the things, it even has the name of the library there. They take out of circulation certain books that just they haven't been used a whole lot. I don't know how they make their decisions, but they generally have hundreds and hundreds of books for sale a couple of times a year. So that's where I get most of my books. So this is, look, it even has the what is that called? Who can remember the name of this system? The Dewey Decimal? Is that the system at the library? Where's my college roommate, Michelle? She is a librarian in Ohio. She would be able to correct me where I'm wrong, but it still has that on there. And I'm just going to leave it on there because there's just no need to monkey with it. I have started to cover this in gesso, and because of the sake of time for drying. And I'll show you here in a second. You would be surprised when you're doing an altered book, the amount of time that it takes to cover if you need to paint or if you want to like prep. So the gesso, it's coloring it white, obviously, because it's a white gesso, but gesso is a primer that you can use on your projects. And so this shiny, glossy surface, if you wanted to paint on there and make sure that your paints stick really well and that they actually last longer, that's more important for a non-shiny surface, but something that's really porous. If you can imagine like a really dry piece of paper, when you put your paint on there, it just gets soaked right into that dry piece of paper. It absorbs it. Well, this gesso puts like a protective barrier between the book cover and whatever I'm going to put on next. So you can use it as a primer. I'm primarily using it more as a base for my papers, because when you create with rice papers, and this is the paper, I think this is the one I'm going to use, you guys. I've chosen a couple actually. But when you create with rice papers, they're very thin. It's paper, it's very thin. Some are more translucent than others. But when you put it on top of a project and then you're going to use a wet glue to stick it down, it makes the paper even more transparent while the glue is wet. So I need to make sure that what's underneath it is white and bright. It doesn't even actually have to be white. It could be like a creamy white. It could be a very light gray, just something brighter than the orange, so that when I put this paper on there, all of those amazing details on this collage really show up beautifully. I mean, it really is a beautiful paper, and we want to get all of those details. So I know this is a fall, autumn themed event. And I was thinking, you know, I wanted to do an altar book. I was looking through the rice papers that I have in the store that would be fall themed. I have, you know, Christmas, we have Easter, we have Valentine's Day themed papers in the store. This is autumn, so I picked Halloween theme because Halloween lands in autumn. So anyway, that was my thought process. We need to get this all covered with white. I already did part of it. You know, I already did this section. You can see it's dry where this part that's shiny is still wet. So for the sake of time, I just did that ahead of time. I just needed, girls, I just was a little nervous. You know, we get 45 minutes together, which is glorious. It's glorious. No complaints here. I love it. But the goal for me is to get you as close to showing you the finished product, book as possible. And if I started with the paint while I was live with you, I would hardly get the covers on. I would hardly get the decorating done. So I wanted to just do a little bit of the painting. You'd be surprised. All of the Christina Love. Oh, yay. Who else is a Halloween fan? I know not everybody is, and that's totally cool. You know, what you're seeing me do, the demonstration that I do today in terms of how to do it, you could do whatever theme you want. You wouldn't have to use a Halloween paper. You could use a rose paper, a floral paper if you like florals, or one of the other holiday themes, or just colors. It doesn't even have to be a holiday. It could just be a colored paper. There are so many different designs. There's got to be close to, I don't know. I would venture to guess I'm close to having 160 different designs between the napkins and the rice papers that I have in the shop. There's a lot to choose from, a lot of variety. Who else loves Halloween? Let me know. Hey, June, thanks for saying hello. There she is. Hey, June, look at that pretty little face. Hey, Rusty. Oh, Rusty loves it. I see, I love it. I love fall, but I don't really decorate for Halloween. I don't really either, Wendy. I don't decorate my home. I used to when my kids were little. My boys are 16 and 18 now. And when they were little, My mother-in-law was fantastic about, she would buy them, nothing creepy. It was always like a cute little witch with a cute little orange and black hat that we could put on the front porch. Or she would, one year she bought them these, they were huge. They were like as big as me. These night lights that were, it was almost like a tomato cage underneath. Like if you can think about like a wired tomato cage, and it had like a white cheesecloth covering, and it was supposed to be like a cute ghost. But they were night lights for their rooms. My mother-in-law was awesome when the kids were little about, bringing little treats over to the house to decorate. I probably did more because she brought stuff over than I did of my own free will. But I used to decorate those holidays for sure when the kids were little, because it's just so much more fun when the kids are trying to pick out costumes and thinking about candy that they're going to collect. And I mean, it really is a fun holiday for young children. But I don't really decorate my house for it anymore either. So I do love, like last year I made a creepy junk journal. You could find that whole series, start to finish, how I made that creepy junk journal. I think I did 2 of them last year. But on my YouTube channel, you would find that if you really wanted to see making a junk journal start to finish, you could find that there. Okay, here are the things. It just takes, oh, we still got a wet spot right there. It just takes a long time. These right here, the cover of the book, still orange, right? I don't want orange showing through. So these little sections right here, they take them, they're not difficult to do, but it takes a bit of time. So I did those ahead of time because I didn't want you to be like watching me get all that coverage on. I probably, even after we get the rice paper on, I probably will do even a little more detail work with those edges, because I want it, this will get sold in the store, this altered book. And if I remember, somebody who's a crafty chick, remind me toward the end when there's about 5 minutes left of time. Someone help me out. I'm just making sure these are all dry now. And remind me to show everybody my keepsake journal, which is an altered book that I'm using for my napkin keepsake journal. So somebody remind me later to do that. That creepy junk journal was fun, wasn't it, Tamara? I don't know. I was thinking we might need to start one for this year. Should we do it again? The creepy junk journal? Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. And I had a special challenge and giveaway for Facebook, my Facebook subscribers, those who subscribe to the channel here on Facebook. We did last year a special giveaway. So guys, like crafty chicks who usually hang out here with me, all my girls, remind me, let's get something set up for this Halloween. Tamara's saying, yes, please, let's do it. Hey, Debbie, how are you? I do too. Chris Hunter's here. Hello, Miss Chris. I bet you're just like really settled in now since your vacay. I bet it was hard those first few days to get back on track, but I'm so glad you're home. It's good to have you here. Thanks for being here with us. Howdy ho. Why it's whatnot. Howdy ho. I love that comment. Howdy ho. All right. So I'm checking comments, making sure to say hello to everybody. Christina says, I've already got a lot of Halloween up. I never got to celebrate Halloween as a kid. And your birthday is on October 27th. So it's your favorite. Whoa, my sister's birthday is the end of the month too. My sister's birthday is the end of October too. So she always had like, special fun Halloween stuff. Okay, I'm going to remove this. I don't think I need it anymore to do the gluing part. I do have to do a little figuring here. Let's get you big on the screen. And I might brighten this light a little bit. Oh my word, it blinds me. In my face, it blinds me, right? But on the table, it's really good for you. So we're gonna make that a little brighter. Okay, I had 2 papers picked out. These are very similar in the fact that they have that Harlequin diamond in the background. Actually, this was the cover of last year's Creepy Junk Journal. This was the cover, wasn't it, girls? I did 2 of them last year, so I think. And actually, I sold the journal. I don't even have it anymore. I wish I did have it so I could show it to you. I made one and it sold to Michelle Maidlow, one of the supporters here on the page. So thank you to anybody who's shopping. That's how we earn our income. So we appreciate you when you're shopping our site, our shops, our sites, our Etsy, wherever we are doing business. I think I'm going to go with this one though, guys. Now, the book is smaller than the paper, so I have to figure out. Oh, I don't want to lose that spider right there. Cool spider, right? The crown is amazing. The details on this. I don't generally do creepy. I think artistically, I should say, like I wouldn't hang this stuff in my house because I don't like creepy Halloween. I like cutesy Halloween, and I certainly like fall decor, like pumpkins and gourds and mums. I love all of that. I love my house to smell like pumpkin pie, you know, all the fragrances. Love everything fall, but I don't love creepy Halloween for decor or clothing or anything like that, but I love it for artistic. I don't like I love doing books with creepy. I don't know why. That started in the last 2 years. That's a total change for me. It's a total change for me. I think this is what I'm going to do right here. So this will definitely get cut. This will definitely get cut. This will get cut. But I can run this around the back. I'm debating about the binding and how I'm going to cover that. So, but I absolutely know that this is where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my water brush and we're going to wet the paper on that edge, and I'm going to cut or tear the paper so that I get it exactly the way I want it, like this. I kind of like to do it. I mean, I could glue it down and then do that, but I kind of like doing it beforehand. It's just so pretty. So once I get it wet, it's going to just tear really easy right where I want it. That's why we wet the paper, because it breaks down the fibers and makes it easier to tear at it. I've been having trouble with this water. I might have to get rid of that little brush. I've been having trouble with it lately. Okay, I'm just regular small brush, a little bit of water on it. I'm going to hit the ends here so that I'm wetting them. My children, one of my children is home. It's homecoming here. There's a football game tonight. There's a parade at 2 o'clock today that I won't make it to, but Landon's on the football team. He's one of the captains. Blessed be. I mean, that child, so proud of him. So I'll definitely be going to the football game tonight, but won't make it to the parade. They're actually having a parade float for the moms of the seniors, the senior football players. So missing out on that one too, but that's okay. It's okay. I would rather actually be hanging out here than be on a float. But that's what the kids get out of school early today for all the activities for homecoming. It's very exciting. It's a little bit rainy. It rained yesterday, so the football field will probably be a little challenging for the boys. All right. I'm trying to just use the edge of the book for leverage for tearing this so I get it right where I want it. See that? And just wetting it just makes it happen really fast. I'm going to try to wet it right on that edge. Oh my gosh, I definitely can hear one of the kids is playing music. You guys want to hear some really fun news? Hold on. I can't cut this and talk to you at the same time. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to cut off like there, that chunk. That will probably go in my telephone book, my scrap telephone book. All right. If you don't hang out with me normally, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I know the crafty chicks who do know what I'm talking about there. I just want to get this down smaller, and I think I'm going to end up wrapping this around, even though I'm unclear what I'm going to do with the binding yet, but that's going to cover it perfectly. I'm going to get you guys big on this screen again so you can see. Look at how cool that's going to be, you guys. What a cool cover. Hey, Crazy Mom Creations. I love the name of your business. Happy to have you here. Christine says, I keep crows up year round because they go with primitive. Yes, actually, I really love that look too, Christina. Sheila, isn't it cool? I love that the background is really sepia, like the brown tones, and then you have that raven on the front, which is really dark and bold and really shows up so well. All right, I'm going to use decoupage varnish and glue to glue this down. You can use Mod Podge. That's like the most common glue that people use to decoupage with. I don't generally like to work with Mod Podge, particularly with napkins because it's so thick. I'm not a big fan of it. It gets really clumpy. Not a big fan of that. So I sell this glue in my shop. This is the biggest jar that I sell in the shop. It's a glue from Europe. It's a Decoupage Queen is my supplier because I'm a retailer for them. It's a Decoupage Queen product. And, you know, most of us who use it, we really love it. So if you wanted to try it, I do sell a small bottle of it, which would be a great sampler. In fact, it's the same bottle I've been including in the craft kits that I sell from the website. That way everybody gets a chance to try it. Okay, so I like to, while it's still in place exactly where I want it, so I don't lose track of what I'm doing, I like to get one section down and then fold that back and get the rest of it down. I want to make sure I really get enough glue under here. I don't want to miss a spot there. Whoops, my little overage right there of glue. Not going to waste it though. So anybody else creating this weekend? What's on your agenda for the weekend? What's everybody doing? Oh, I was going to tell you fun news. You know, I have my two children. Those of you who know my family. Landon is the older of the two, and he's on the football team. He wrestles. He's on student council, National Honor Society, DECA, like super busy kid. He's like I was when I was in high school. I wanted to do everything and be everywhere while having two jobs in high school. I tried to be as active as I possibly could be. That's my Landon. Now Gannon, on the other hand, Gannon is on the trap team. He does clay targets. He's on the trap team. He's also on student council and National Honor Society. So he does have some activities. He's not as busy as his older brother. He generally likes to hang out at home. He's kind of a quieter introvert kind of thing. He's actually loads and loads of fun. He's hilarious and he's so much fun. But he really prefers smaller groups. Anybody else like that? Where, like, you know, I'd rather just not be in a huge crowd of people. He does not want to go to the football game tonight. He already told me that. And I said, too bad. Your brother's playing. We're going to go watch him and support him. Now, I'm kind of a softie with Gannon, and Gannon will ask us, like, in the third period, can I go home now? Because he does not like the crowds. But he'll ask, can I go home now? And Christopher, my husband, will say, no, you cannot. I know he will. Me, on the other hand, I'm kind of a softie. I'll be like, yeah, you can go home. So he usually asks me first. But if Chris hears, Chris will be, no, you got to stay and support your brother. It's hilarious to me. Okay, I think I am just going to rip this. And even if I end up covering the spine with something different, I have an idea to use some fabric on the spine. I just want to see, before I make that decision, I want to see how this is all going to look together before I make that decision. So I'm going to put this on here, even though I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it exposed or not. It does look really nice though. And we get that spider right there. This little white edge I should take off, but honestly, I don't think it's going to show. So I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it because I'm going to be covering the back with another paper. So we can just cover that edge, I think, right up. But let's get this on first, and then we can deal with that. See if we want to take that off. Rice paper is really glorious to decoupage with because it's so much sturdier than napkins. Napkins are fun. Oh my gosh, and they're inexpensive, and there are, I mean, don't even know how many designs in the world, so many designs, but they're more finicky. It's a little harder to work with it. Okay, let's do some drying. This is going to be awesome. Super excited about this book. Yes, I'm using Pentart glue and varnish. I'm using the matte version. It also comes in a silky shine version, a glitter version, a glossy version, but I'm using the matte version. You haven't used rice paper, Angela? It's really fun to work with. And there's, like I said, so many designs. It's just beautiful. It's just easier to work with than napkins because it's thicker and sturdier. It doesn't rip as easily. There's no plies to separate. It's just the paper is the paper. Okay, it's not completely dry. This is more dry than this is. It's still a little tacky, but I want to move on. So I'm going to open this up and let's see about this. If I put this down here, I'm going to use this. It's like a crackled grunge design. And I think I'm going to put this on the back. I think it'll match really nicely. And then what I was trying to decide is perhaps covering, I don't know if I want to cover the binding with fabric or put some kind of ribbon detail or what. Since I don't know exactly what I want to do, I better remove this just in case I don't end up using that fabric. Now that I see this on the binding, I really love it. The paper itself. I was thinking I would have just that paper on the front, this paper on the back, and then use a fabric strip down the middle. But now that I'm seeing it on here, I don't want to take it off. It's just so pretty. All right, let's see. Did I wet it enough to get it to tear easily? Nope. Need a little more water, Gracie. There we go. Sometimes that water just needs a few minutes to just really soak up into that paper so that you can tear it easily. I love the torn look anyway. I like things grungy. I like things kind of mucked up and I really like things not perfect. I really do it because for me, it feels just more organic when your stuff isn't perfectly straight or perfectly painted, perfectly done. I like imperfect stuff. I like me some imperfect stuff. All right, I can totally put this product on the front, on the top, I should say, of my project as well. It is a varnish. It can be the top coat. But honestly, I prefer Mod Podge for my top coat on my altered books because it gives a harder coat in covering. So I feel like it's a little more obviously protecting the top. You know, we don't want this. We don't want to go through all this effort to decorate the outside of this book. How cool is that, you guys? And then just to have it get mucked up. Dirty little fingers grab, you know, like I always think maybe the grandkids are around and I always think like the worst thing would be if they were eating Doritos or Cheetos and then they grabbed something and you can't get that orange off of the book. That would be awful. So I like to put a nice Mod Podge, couple of coats of Mod Podge on the top of my books. I love that you guys are still chatting in the comments. Chat away. You like the paper with the spider on the binder, Gail says. Maybe some fringe looking muslin or cheesecloth down the binder in the center. You know what? You know what would be really fun? You know that black webbing? Girls, where's my black webbing? Remember we put it on the I'm just seeing if it's in my jar behind me. It is. Hang tight, girls. Yeah, that black. I have a jar full of 2 jars of fabric behind me. Like when I have bits and pieces of fabric left. Like what if we did this? I actually have this in like a creamy color too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. This is why altering books and decorating them to me is super fun. Okay. So I love that edge. Absolutely love it, but it's got to get covered up. Got to get covered up. So this is going to go here on this edge. I think it matches really well. I really love this crackle in this. Can you see that crackle? It's a really cool design. So actually, let's try it the other way this time. First, I have to get rid of this white edge. And I don't like to cut. I just really prefer the torn edge. So I'm dipping this paintbrush in a clean glass of water. And then I'm wetting this edge, getting it to suck up that water so I can tear the edge really easily. Because I want this torn look. Whoops. I've got gesso all over my fingers. I want to get rid of all the white. I don't want any white remaining. That white straight edge. I'm going to get rid of it. Has anybody else altered books in the past? I bet you have books in your house that you could come around and decorate with. Oh my gosh, this is going to be pretty. Okay, I'm going to try this, the gluing and then tearing it off. It's a little risky though, but let's try it for the sake of, why not? Let's try it. Lots of glue. Coming in with lots. I got the one edge done. I'm going to overlap the glue over the other edge. It's got to cover it just a little bit. I want full coverage here, so we need to overlap the papers. There's been some really beautiful projects today from the other creatives who have already done their demonstrations for the Autumn Festival. So please don't miss out on any of the other ladies who are sharing. I don't actually know. I'm assuming it's all women. From the names that I've seen in the chat, it seems to be all women. I know there are men out there who have creative businesses as well. So if you're a man and you're participating in this, I apologize. But I think it's all women. If Sheila or Cheryl are here, they could totally correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just thinking that everybody that was in that chat, it was all women. Go girl power, girl crafty power. All right, we're going to lay this down. I'm going to use the flat to really make sure I don't have any bubbles. You can, with rice paper, you can lift it and put it back down because it's so sturdy. It's so thick and sturdy. I actually, using my hands sometimes is more satisfying because we can feel where we are on the book page and we can feel if there are any bumps and bruises along the way, any, you know. Oh, I dipped that in the wrong thing, Gracie. Hold on, gotta get another brush. I wanted water on my brush tonight. Ended up putting it in the glue. All right, we're gonna wet this. Even though we just glued it down, we're gonna wet it because I really want it to absorb that water so I can tear at it. I usually do it before I go on to my book because I want the tears to be just perfect size. Yeah, see, look. I like to have it so that I can move it around if need be, the paper. Now it's glued down. I thought we'd try it this way and see what we get. All right, actually, I'm going to go up here first. So when I altered books, I love to use the rice papers. There's so many beautiful designs to choose from. But then I normally would add, oh, see how that tore into? I'll show you in a minute here. It tore too much off there. I don't want to see the cover of the book under there, and you can see it just a little bit right there. So we will simply take a chunk of this and patch that up in a minute. That's why I like to do it when it's not wet with the glue and not, see, look, see what's happening there? We got some white showing. I don't want that. Mom, I don't want no white. What's going on here? Yeah, I should have just stuck to the way I normally do it, but I was trying to be, for demonstration purposes, to show you, oh, you could do it this way too. I don't usually do it this way. That's why. No, it's easier if you do it before you glue it down. It's okay. The show will go on. All right, we're going to use the glue. It's matte. It's totally invisible. You're not going to see this at all, the glue. And we're going to just patch up. Now, it's the same glue and varnish. It's going to be completely matte. It doesn't leave a sheen. But I'm going to put it on top as well to really secure that down. I have to do the same thing here. Look at ish. That's not what we wanted. So I'm going to actually do this in pieces rather than, I could do one big strip, but I think what I'm going to do is small sections. Like I'll put a piece right here. And we're going to cover that up. I will also use, I started to say, I'll also come in afterwards with some paints because those edges are tricky on altered books. They really are tricky. How are we doing with time? We got about 15 minutes. We're in good shape. All right, let's get some glue on here. We're patching. Got a patch job to do, girls. There. Yes, you guys, and I mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it again. I'm offering free shipping just today for, today's the day that I'm participating in the event. So just for today in my shop, if you decide to shop, you'll get free shipping with an order of $30 or more. So go to the shop. You don't even have to have a code. It will just automatically apply. If you put $30 of stuff in your cart, it's going to automatically apply. And Craft Therapy Club members, you can still use your discount code. Members of my membership group always get a discount in my shop. So don't forget to use it, ladies. Okay, we're almost done with our patch job. But actually, I'm kind of liking this rugged look of the patch over here. So I'm going to purposefully add some more because I actually quite like it. Let's take another patch of this. It's giving it a texture because of the torn edge. It's giving it a texture that I'm quite liking, actually. So I'm going to come up in this corner and add another chunk. It's all just like whatever there's no rules here when you're altering a book and decorating it. It's just like art journaling or junk journaling. You do what you do you. I always say you do you. You do what you think looks good. You do what makes your heart happy. You do what makes your soul sing. Don't worry about, oh, I shouldn't have put a patch there. Who says who? Says who? There's no rules. You want to put an extra patch? Put an extra patch. I kind of like that it makes it look more torn up and edgy. I'm actually going patch crazy here. I'm actually going a little patch crazy. I'm liking it. Let's do one in this corner. See, this was a mistake that I was trying to fix with the patchwork, but I'm discovering that I really like the look of it. So let's just add some more of it. All right. It looks old and grungy. Woo, I like it. I like it. The rice papers. Jennifer, my website is simply www.thecomfinesswithgrace.com. But actually, I think I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the link to the grunge paper in the comments. And if you click on that link, it'll bring you to this paper that I'm using in the background. And then you can look through the shop and see whatever else you might like. And like I said, you do not need to have a code for the free shipping. $30 or more, and it will automatically apply free shipping in your order. This is in the United States. All right, it's super grungy and patchworked up, which I really love. It still does need some time to dry. I think, though, I better figure, I'm going to open this up so we can see the whole thing. Make some room here, girls. Make some room. Scooch over, brushes. Mama needs some room to work. Okay, let's see what we think about. Yeah, I feel like I want to put something. I usually do cover my edges in some way or another. Let me grab my napkin keepsake journal so I can show you what I mean. I like to put something decorative. And this is an altered book that I demonstrated. Taught the girls how to do it inside the Craft Therapy Club. Got a napkin stuck to it. So this was all rice papers, a doily, a piece of canvas fabric. This paper is called Lovely Lena. This is also in the shop, but see how beautiful? I really do love fabric on my bindings. This is the book that I'm using for my napkin keepsakes. So altered books don't have to just be pretty home decor. You can actually use them. I use them all the time as art journals or keepsake journals for my napkins. I just love to use them that way. Okay, I think I'm for sure going to do something on this edge. I had this picked out, so I'm going to cut a small piece of this just to test it out and see what I think. It could be, I would want it to be really narrow. You could make it really big and go over the front and the back of the book, but I don't want that. I want it to be really narrow so that it simply covers the spine, because I don't want to cover up that gorgeousness right there. So I think it would be about right here. And I love it. Right? I like it torn. I want it edgy. I want it like grungy. I want little strings coming off of it. Frayed is the word. That like really makes me happy. If you don't like frayed, then get super neat about it. You just do you when you create. So I'm thinking of just covering this, and I may actually Should we paint this a little bit? I think I will. I might paint this strip a little bit. This looks like leather, doesn't it? Sarah, I think so too. You got a good eye, girl. I think it does too. All right. Before we do much else, let's do a little drawing. I love it frayed, Christina. You and me. Don't cover the spider, Gail. I know it's hard, but I think I better. I know it's under there. It's under there. But it's okay. We got the raven and the skull. Those two are spooky, spooky on their own. I got little bits of fabric like all over my shirt, all over me. Getting a little warm because this thing throws off some heat. It's a heat gun. Whew. I'm gonna take off my sweater. You loving this book, Christina? Me too. She's giving me a time check. 5 minutes left. All right. Well, I showed you the keepsake journal because this is kind of what I'm going for, is a covered book. I use like old novels, hardcover novels all the time in my creative journey, just kind of like what I do. So it doesn't mean that the book cover has to be plain or ugly. We can make it pretty, which is what I love to do. It's like another art project for you. Okay, I think this is going here. It's simply got to get glued down, but I think I want to paint it. So I probably will run out of time, but let's get started. I'm going to show you. Let me grab, I'm going grungy, girls. We're going for the grunge. So I'm going to grab a brown and maybe a gray. Geez, the lights are out in this room so that you can see, but then I can't see what the heck I'm doing over there. I just can't see. All right. All right, I should say, I'm not going to paint it entirely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to like totally make this strip gray. I'm going to dry brush it. Take my little cheetah print, my cheetah print dry brush. We're going to grab some of this and I'm just going to see. We have more strips of it. So nobody wig out, okay? Because if you're like me, there's more of that where that came from. There's more of that. Yeah, so see what I'm doing? We're just going to grunge it up. This is perfect. It's like a gray color. And I think this is going to work fine. It would help me if I taped this stinker down to hold it in place. Yeah, this is better because it's not so perfect, right? It's kind of in the same grungy feel. I'll give myself a darker blob right there. I gotta get this off so I can get this corner. Yeah, right? What are you thinking? Better, right? I might take this and just give myself a dark spot right there. Maybe in this corner. That is gonna look way better than the strip that we had. That won't take too long to dry either because it's just dry. It's not soaked. Okay, girls. Right? I think I even have to go just a little darker. You love the grunge? Thank you, Stardust Soul Crafting by Mel. Thanks for being here. It's kind of good to meet you this way. All right, we're definitely going to grunge this up more. I want less of that canvas color to show. So perhaps I'll come in with a brown, but I think this brown is too dark. You love this fine, Vicki? Yay. Okay, so girls, tried really hard to get this finished with you. I did a little work ahead of time, but it's just not going to happen. So hang out with me here. I have a Telegram channel that you can join if you want to know when I'm going live. I always announce it in the Telegram channel. So feel free to get on my Telegram. I will put my Linktree link so you get all my links. Because if you're asking for where my website is, where can I find your Telegram channel, I'll put that all in the comments right now so that you have them to refer to later. You can always private message me if you need to and ask me questions or links that you might need or whatever. But This event is going on all day, like today and tomorrow, okay? Until 8 p.m. tonight, until 9:30 tomorrow. Lots of creatives. We don't tell you the order of who's coming on live because we want everybody to have a chance for your time, love, and attention. So we don't want you shopping and saying, oh, I'm just going to go watch Grace, and then not give anybody else a chance to have some time with you. So go into either Sweet Crafted Treasures or streaming. It's also streaming in Craft on the Clock. Those two groups, you'll see everybody if you just keep refreshing your screen. Somebody is coming up after me here in a minute. We got another minute, so I'll go for just another minute here. I'm going to put some of this tan in here to warm up the color a little, to get it more like the front of the book. Okay, like I'm trying to get that color. So we have the gray, which matches the back of the book, and we're going to add some of this on here as well, and that's going to match the other side of the book. We're trying to get it super coordinated. So I'll go live again probably to finish this up. I'll probably leave this project so that you guys can see it get finished up. So we'll consider this part 1, and there'll be a part 2, and I'll share it likely on both the YouTube channel and here on Facebook. So I'd love to have you following so that you can hang out and see how this turns out. I will also share a picture of it later. You're welcome, Christina. Who's going to be hanging out in the Autumn Festival today? Who plans on sticking around? Virginia, you're so sweet, my friend. She says, Grace is lots of fun. Yeah, we have a ton of fun here. We are a fun group here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. I call, all of us, we kind of consider each other crafty chicks, and we like to craft and create together. So you are all welcome to follow along. You're going to try this, Gail? I hope so. Oh, you're going to try to be in the event. Yes, check out the shop, Holly. Free shipping today on orders over $30, just until midnight. So don't lollygag around. Just get her done. You can grab these 2 papers. I gave you in the description the numbers of the paper because each paper has a number, like ID. I gave you the numbers, but if you look up Raven, this one will pop up. And if you look up Grunge, the other one will pop up. Okay, so I'm trying to get this all mucked up. Yes, we're getting there, girls. I think it needs a little black. I'm going to get just a little bit of black in there. All right, girls, go have some fun. Catch the next creative in Sweet Crafted Treasures, the group where the event is happening. Have a blessed day. Thanks.